telling him that it's not appropriate, and he was saying, well, it's a natural thing. So his argument was that it's natural. And then my counter-argument is that not everything that's natural should be done publicly. And people argue a lot of times. They tell you it's natural to be like this. Or that's a natural feeling that I have. So, yeah, it's natural. Do you do everything natural out publicly and you talk about it publicly? So I told him, So I actually told him, because of the situation and the level of aggression, so I said, it's natural to have a bowel movement, so stand on the table right now, and you pull down your pants and have a bowel movement on the table. and he was stumped immediately, because it's natural, but you don't do it like that. So don't tell me it's natural to have urges and therefore, just like these people who argue with music, they tell you it's natural to like music. A child will listen to music, he'll start jumping up and down. It's natural. Yeah? Well, every teenager has urges. That's natural also. It's not like they bought it from a store. It's a natural urge, but does it mean it makes it okay? Some people try to argue if it's natural, that means if it naturally happens to you, that means it's halal. No. So you counter it like that. So sometimes they use the logic but in the wrong place. And there are many other things that are natural but you don't do publicly. Or you don't even talk about them publicly. But we've got like 10 minutes left, right? In 10 minutes left, let's talk about quantifying arguments. Okay, that's another technique to get them to not arguments, but statements. Get them to quantify their statement. So let me... Someone tells you ask someone, do you know anything about Islam, would you like to become Muslim? He tells you, no, because I'm actually very happy being Christian. Someone says that to you. Where do you go from there? Where do you go from there? Go wherever you want to go. You're the Da'iyah. Ahmed.
What do you mean by that?
Someone else? That's it. That Ahmed just said. Where'd you get that from? Good. Excellent. Yeah, very good. What do you mean by happy? You can't. He actually answered it. He answered it. You have another question? Let me finish this point. And I forgot about you, sister. I'm sorry. I'll come back to you. But look, if someone tells you, I'm satisfied being a Christian, I'm happy being Christian, you can't argue this statement at all. You can't argue the fact that he's happy. What are you going to say? Don't be happy. I don't want you to be happy. Or let me make you happier. You can't argue about happy. You can't argue happy. You can't argue satisfied. Lawyers use this technique. Any lawyers in the audience? What do you people study in here? Huh? You study law? Why'd you put your hand up then? You study law.
No, I told him.
Okay. Okay. So, they use this technique. Well, someone says, I was a hard worker. So they can't tackle the fact that you're a hard worker. So they get you to quantify what hard means. So let me say, did you work 8 to 9? Or what is it, 9 to 5? Yeah? So yeah. And did you work Mondays through Fridays? Yeah. Did you take some Fridays off? Yeah, every other week I took Fridays off. Did you take Saturday and Sunday off? Yes, I took Saturday. So basically, you worked Monday through Thursday, and then the next week Monday through Friday. Yes. Okay. So they quantified it. So when someone tells you, I'm satisfied being Christian, don't tackle the fact that he's satisfied. Get him to define what makes them satisfied. So look at this scenario here. Someone tells you, I'm satisfied being Christian. Now instead of saying, don't be satisfied, I'll make you more satisfied. No, just say, okay, what makes you satisfied? What gives you this feeling of satisfaction because you're Christian? He'll say, well, the reason is that I'm satisfied because Jesus died for my sins. You have something to work with now? Listen to me. Don't just put your hand up. Listen. Do you have something to work with now? Yes. Now you can work with the fact that Jesus died for your sins. I have something to work at and to tackle and to analyze. But I can't tackle the fact that he's happy. I can tell him, what makes you happy being a Christian? And he could say, well, it's the fact that X, X, X. And now you can tackle that point. You can't tackle the fact that he's happy. Get him to explain what makes him happy. Get him to explain what makes him satisfied. Things of that sort. So that's how you quantify an argument. If something doesn't make sense and you don't know what that means, always ask for an explanation and then get to the root of what makes them feel a certain way. Okay, sister?
Just what your earlier point with the question is modesty. And sometimes when talking to non-Muslims, they ask why is it, they feel like why is the onus on women to be modest, or why do men not necessarily cover up as much? Or I just sometimes have a hard time.
Okay, you guys get the question?
Yes.
Now, how do you answer that? No? Yeah, that's true. Men are supposed to be modest, but there are more regulations on the women. Why so? Why more on the women? Created them differently, and He made, for the most part, sometimes these laws don't apply now because people have become strange, but He made for the most part that the beauty of the woman is in her appearance, and the woman will be a fitna or a temptation for the man when he sees her. The fitna of the woman is when the man sees her, and that's why Allah made her cover up herself so she does not become like just an object and so on and so forth. But the women are not as affected by attractive men as men are attracted to. So the problem with this thing, this was an old argument, but the problem with it now is that, and this was something weird that we discovered, that the scholars of old used to say that one woman can be a temptation for 100 men, but 100 men couldn't be a temptation for one woman. That's what they used to say back then, and it was true. But now, you hear this stuff about it's changed now. Let me just say that it's changed. I don't know if I want to even get into this stuff. There's a masjid in one area, I won't say where one brother, his wife told him that the sisters in the salah, they're excited about sujood time. I was shocked when it was very difficult to make sujood in that place from that point on. You wouldn't expect that, because we used to argue that women are not attracted to them by looking at the man, and that's why the lowering the gaze is harder upon the man, and it's more obligated on the man than the woman. But of course, the rule is that if the woman is excited by looking at the man, then she has to lower her gaze. If a man is excited by looking at the woman, he lowers his gaze. If a man is excited by looking at anything, he lowers his gaze from it. And if you have a vase in your house that's shaped like this, and that vase excites you, don't look at it. That's really the rule. I'm serious. I understand that brother has serious issues, but that's the rule. Wallahi, the scholars even mentioned that if a man if he sees a young boy, that makes him, don't look at the young boy. The guy sees a zebra and he doesn't want to, don't look at the zebra. Whatever it is, don't look at it. That's the rule. I'm serious. So, anyways, but the point is that the chance of the woman being a bigger fitna physically is greater. So Allah put her beauty also physically, and that creates a huge fitna. 10 million men now can become maftuneen from looking at one woman. That's why the obligation is stronger on women to cover, because as the brother said, her butt different physically, and so on and so forth. So just try to go. I know that was kind of scattered argument, but just try to go somewhere along those lines of explaining why there's more of an obligation to cover. That's why also, you find sometimes like the hadith where the Prophet ﷺ says that if a woman, she does her 5 prayers, she fasts her months, she obeys her husband, she guards her private parts, she go to paradise from any of the gates that she wants to. Now, you look at, and then sometimes sisters object, why is when you explain that, why did the Prophet mention the woman guarding her privates more so? Because the scholars explained that she's the, what's the word? She's the one that will determine if that happens or not. If the woman says no, then no sin will happen. And so the sister put her, well, the man is also involved. Yes, I understand that. But the go-ahead, the green light or the red light comes from the woman. And so that's why she was given that honor, that if she protects her private part, she could enter paradise from any of the gates that she wants. So we have to look at it from, in Islam, this is really beautiful, they tell you that, the scholars say, that if you consider two things that are different, if you treat them exactly equally, that's injustice. If you have two things that are different, and you treat them exactly equally in every aspect, that's injustice. True or false? Right? And if men are different from women, we have to there has to be different treatment. If I say, okay, this sister, I'm going to treat her just like she was a man, then I'm being unfair here. Sure, on a human level, this is one soul, this is one soul. It's not like this is 1/3 and this is a full human being. No. On a human level, they're exactly, yes, equal. But when it comes to other things, they're different. So you have to treat them differently. And that's why the Sharia has made different rulings for women when it comes to this, and different rulings for them in Ramadan, in childbirth, because there's a difference between them. Don't accept this argument that, well, the man can do this, the woman can't do that. And this is part of the problem with the radical feminist movement. Not the feminist movement, the radical feminist movement. They argue what the man did, why can men do this and we don't do that? Their goal in life is to be just like the man. So if the man is a boxer, we have to box. If he drives a 18-wheeler, we have to drive 18-wheelers. If he's a firefighter, we have to be firefighters. If whatever the man does, that's what we aspire to become. And this is not the goal that Allah put for women, that they just want to be exactly like the man. Who said that the end result is to be like a man? The opposite. Prophet cursed the women who resemble men, the men who resemble women, because each one is different. So that's why, because of the difference of women, because of how Allah created them, there will be more of an obligation upon them to cover up than upon the men. Right? Anyway, I don't think there's time. I think it's actually 1 o'clock. We have to stop. We reconvene at 1:30. At 2:30? Oh yeah, 2. That's an hour and a half. جزاكم الله خيرا. صلى الله وبارك على محمد وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين. السلام عليكم.